Hi, I'm Skip Nipper. Welcome to Skip's Corner, the podcast where I tell you about not only Nashville's great baseball history and traditions,
shot to right, a one-hop liner,
but certainly about its past. And you will hear a little bit about its present and future, too.
Yes, he can, and makes the waist-high catch.
There are great stories about Tom Wilson Park, Herschel Greer Stadium, Sulphur Dell, and the players, coaches, and fans who love everything about baseball. And every once in a while, you will get to hear from a special guest who will share their fondness and even passion for the great game.
It's a high fly ball down the right field corner, going way back, hits a lead-off home run.
Well, I want to welcome those who are listening to Nashville Baseball History Podcast. I'm extremely excited about having Will General. He's the new director of marketing for Music City Baseballs, which, as you all know, is the Nashville Stars. And Will has come on board and from what I've seen, has really made a difference in the visibility of the Nashville Stars logo, the Nashville Stars franchise itself, as it will be. So I want to welcome you, Will. Thanks for being a part of my podcast today.
Skip, it's a pleasure to be here as a part of the podcast. It's a pleasure to be here as a part of Music City Baseball and trying to fulfill the dream of bringing Major League Baseball here to Nashville, named after the Nashville Stars.
It's great. I think it's a great tool for all that to happen. My podcast is baseball history, and as we have gone along for the last several years, the Nashville Stars is becoming the history, another history part that we think down the road will be even better experience for people that are interested in the history. So tell me a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, where your family is, where you went to school, those kinds of things to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm originally from New Haven, Connecticut. I grew up playing all sports, but baseball was far and away my first love. I firmly believe that baseball has helped me as a human, because nothing prepares you to deal with failure like baseball. We all know through our lives that failure is abundant, and baseball has prepared me a ton for that failure and how to rebound from it. Obviously thankful to my mom, my dad, my two younger sisters, and extended family for always supporting me and pursuing baseball. And that was how I ended up at Davidson College. As a part of the recruiting process, I attended lots of combines and camps and found this small school just north of Charlotte, North Carolina. And they were in the news because there was this skinny basketball player who had just scored 30 points in the first round of the NCAA tournament named Steph Curry. It was a great academic institution and it was D1 baseball. And I said, that's a great place for me. And it turned out to be an incredible place for me. I knew I wanted to play baseball at the next level. I knew I wanted high level academics. And Charlotte and Davidson was really an amazing place for that. Played baseball all 4 years there, was captain my senior year. Over my career, I think I had 150 total at-bats when most starters have 150 at-bats in a season. I spent most of my time out in the bullpen, but I was named captain my senior year. Very proud of that, my ability to really bring people together, coalesce around a common vision to win as many baseball games as we can and have some fun along the way.
So if you spent all that time in the bullpen, you were a catcher.
That's right.
Is that right?
If I showed you an x-ray of my knees and hips, you would be able to tell that too.
So a catcher is one of the few positions, or the only position, that gets to see everything going on in the field. So from that, you're learning a lot about baseball and what goes on. And how has that helped you in your experience with marketing and the tools that you took from baseball?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the human element first and foremost. I mean, I am as much a general manager out there as I am a catcher. I need to know how I can inspire pitchers to be their best and the rest of the team to support that pitcher in their efforts. And there are certain people that you can pat on the butt and say, hey, buddy, this umpire is really struggling back there today. You look great. And other ones you could be a little bit more firm and direct with to get the best out of them. So I think in leading teams and dealing with people generally every single day, I think I learned a lot as a catcher that has positioned me for success. And on the marketing side of things, again, it's all about that human connection and what inspires people to make decisions. In the marketing sense, it's all about trying to drive people to make a purchase or to believe in what your cause is. But it's very similar on the baseball field. It's how can I get this group to work together in a cohesive fashion for the common good.
So you leave Davidson, you go to Northwestern, and you get your master's degree there. Was that a marketing degree?
It was, and actually there was a detour along the way into finance. I found myself in Philadelphia for 5 years working for Vanguard, incredible company to start my career at. But over those 5 years, I found out that mutual funds and ETFs only get so interesting.
Right.
And I found a lot of friends that had gone to business school and really gave them a moment to reflect and figure out what was important to them. And that's how I decided to end up at Northwestern, because I've always been passionate about how people make decisions, and marketing is a way that influences how people make decisions. And I really fell in love with the strategy of it, the creativity of it, the innovation that comes within marketing. And it was a really great place for me to take my career away from the financial services sector.
And so marketing took you other places also. Could you
That's
talk
right.
about
Yeah.
those?
After I finished my degree at Northwestern Kellogg, my MBA there, I started at Molson Coors in the beer business. I knew I always wanted to be close to sports, given my lifelong fandom and participation at it as an athlete. And beer brought me pretty close. Go to any Major
Yeah.
League Baseball game or NFL game and look how many beer ads you see or on TV while you're watching those games. And I found an amazing opportunity at Molson Coors working on the Miller Lite brand. My internship there was actually to travel to stadiums across the country and look at our branding and look at best in class branding and put together a playbook for how the Miller Lite brand should show up in baseball stadiums. So just about the coolest way to spend your time. And then I spent another 3 years there because I fell in love with it, really leading that brand both at a regional and a national level, trying to make people love and care about it. And then COVID hit and it was time to get out of Chicago, and we
Right.
found ourselves here in Nashville. And that brought me to my next big global amazing brand, Red Bull, where I spent the last 4 years throwing people out of airplanes, managing college students driving Mini Coopers, and handing out millions upon millions of cans of Red Bull over those 4 years.
That's terrific. No, so how did you hook up with the Stars? How did that come about?
Yeah, early in my time here in Nashville, I was just doing my cursory research and found this crazy group of people that wanted to bring Major League Baseball here to Nashville and this tie to the Negro Leagues. So I just started connecting with people and volunteering at events and inviting them out to Red Bull events just so they could see what my capabilities were. And the timing really worked out where I was able to come on as a consultant externally, first and foremost, about a year ago now. And then to come on full time within the last few months. It's really been a dream come true to be able to deliver on my passions, which is baseball, Nashville, and this connection to the Negro Leagues really just ties a beautiful bow on it all.
Oh, you said it very well. So what makes Nashville so special? I mean, I know the entertainment business has to be right down your alley for a marketing guy, right? And then the baseball, I know I don't want to talk too much myself, but a few years ago, I was able to go to opening day for Lipscomb, Belmont, and Vanderbilt all on the same day.
What a day.
And my odometer said 5.1 miles between the three. Now, is there any city in the country that has three D1 programs that's close together? And then when you tie in Trevecca and all the other colleges, Cumberland University outside the city, junior colleges, this is really a hotbed for baseball, isn't it?
Oh, it is. There's no doubt about it. And Nashville is a very, very special place. It was never on my map, but my wife has family down here, and we left Chicago at the very start of COVID with a duffel bag, thinking we'd be here for 2 weeks, and we still haven't left. We went back real quick to pack up all our stuff and move down here, but it's a very special place. I mean, the city itself is outstanding, the entertainment, the music industry, and it's far more diversified than people think, and it's just a one stoplight cowboy town. It has that, but so much more too. And then beyond the city, Tennessee is an unbelievable state. You can be 3 hours in Memphis and the history of jazz and blues out there. You can be 3 hours out into Knoxville to one of the best SEC schools in the country. And I shouldn't even say SEC, one of the top tier athletic institutions in the country. This is just a very special place. I love how centrally located we are. I have family spread out all over the place. And Nashville is just becoming that draw. one of the fun facts that I love to share right now is that Nashville, Tennessee, BNA, is the only airport in the country with a direct flight to all other 30 cities with Major League Baseball franchises. So it makes sense to me. It's convenient. It is a wonderful city that more people should be spending time in.
Even a place like Knoxville, which is off the grid sometimes as far as baseball goes, except for the University of Tennessee winning the College World Series last year. I know the Knoxville team came back to Knoxville, was in up at Kodak with the exit to get off to Dollywood. And I don't know how well they drew up there, but it's been brought in back into Nashville, opened a new stadium, and opening day for the new stadium drew a little over 6,000 people. And that same day, University of Tennessee had a home game and drew 5,000 and something. So when you think about 11,000 people going to a baseball game in Knoxville, and then you have the same thing happening here and in Memphis and in Chattanooga, all that's a little bit of a different dynamic until their new stadium is ready, I think, next year. You think about 40 some odd thousand people in the state of Tennessee going to 4 ball games and not even including some of the other games that are taking place, like Vanderbilt or like University of Memphis. So it's spread out all over the state, isn't it?
Oh, and it's bigger than that too. I mean, Alabama, Mississippi. I mean, you
Right.
can be down to Huntsville in 2 hours, and there's great baseball being played down there. Birmingham's only an hour further from that. It's an amazing region for baseball. If you look at the top 25 of college baseball right now, I think there are 10 SEC teams as a part of it. This is baseball country. I think we
Yes.
just heard that it's the third most popular city for Major League Baseball players in the offseason to do their training. So baseball is far and away the leader in the clubhouse here, and we're ready to bring Major League Baseball here as well.
Well, I have told others, I will tell you, I've lived here all my life. I think Nashville's a better baseball city, certainly than people realize. But I honestly will say this and believe it that it's a better baseball city than a football or hockey city. I've lived here all my life, and I know that the amateur teams, the travel teams, the colleges, and all the other teams that are around, I know how popular that is, and it's not the same way in other sports.
It's so true. And I mean, hockey and soccer were both highly doubted when they came here and said, I don't know if hockey's going to work here. I don't know if soccer is
Yeah.
going to work here. And
Right.
both of those franchises have unbelievable fan bases. So knowing that fans will turn out for new sports coming here into the city, and then knowing the love that people already have from baseball, I can't wait till opening day for the Nashville Stars to see all 40,000 of those people in one place at one time.
Yeah, when we become a melting pot, uh, people have come from all over the places, and they had their team that they pulled for. The Giants, for example, if they were from California, Detroit, if they were from Illinois, or the Cubs from Illinois. Now they're coming here, and one of these days they're going to be Nashville Stars fans. Am I right?
I know that's right.
And then Major League Baseball has recognized how important Tennessee is with the determination to bring a baseball game to Bristol Motorsports in the summer.
Yeah, it's really just an exciting time for baseball in the state of Tennessee and this region totally. I mean, unfortunately, there has not been a Major League Baseball franchise in this part of the country, and
Right.
people have been more or less forced to be a fan of teams hundreds of miles away. But it's a really amazing thing when Major League Baseball brings baseball to a unique venue where people haven't seen it at the big league level, like they've done in the past up in Williamsport for the Little League World Series, or bringing it to Birmingham to play at Rickwood, or this year playing in Bristol. I mean, we're so excited for Major League Baseball to plant its flag in Tennessee and be another step along the pathway of bringing Major League Baseball here permanently.
One of the things that's gotten me excited is you've recently introduced a cap. Now you call it a hat. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a little while. I have a conflict with that. I'm really just teasing a little bit, but it's a hat that has a new logo, an NS. How did that come about?
Yeah, we are very excited about the new logo and the release of the hats. We've been at this for 5 years and have had multiple different iterations of logos that will still be a part of and now I'm getting into the marketing stuff, a part of our brand identity, but none of them really looked great on a hat. And we had to think through, what does that on-field hat logo look like? So we've worked really closely with a longtime friend of the brand. His name is Jimo Wong. He's one of the most creative people I've ever met. He spent most of his career working on brands that people would be familiar with, like Nike and Jordan, and more recently working with Travis Scott and the Cactus Jack brand. He is really the architect behind a lot of these iconic designs that are a part of culture right now. And the brief we gave him, the ask we had of him is design a logo that would look great on a hat, that would pay tribute to the Negro Leagues, but also be as timeless as something that you might see like a St. Louis Cardinals or a New York Yankees hat. And that's how we came up with this interlocking NS logo. And we really love it. And the fans are already loving it as well. I mean, it is iconic. It gives you the look and feel of a Kansas City Monarchs hat and just as much as an LA Dodgers hat. So it's a really timeless look for us. And we're excited that people all over the country and already the world are wearing this on their head.
Well, there are no historical logos to have gone on, right? To have recreated. So to develop something new and call it your own is pretty special, I think. Why is the NS cap black and white? Was there not a consideration for a special color? Is that something for the future?
Yeah, we are actively looking into a diversified color scheme, but we know that this brand has an opportunity to just become a part of everyday culture. And the black and white really is as easy to wear with anything else as it can be. Our final colors won't just be black and white, but it's a great place for us to start just to prove the concept that this NS lockup and seeing it on a hat belongs in every closet, every room, and every stage you could imagine. And I think that's proving out to be very true. I mean, the day after that these hats went for sale, Mitchell Tenpenny, one of our advisors and very close friends, wore us at the Opry in the circle. So not even 24 hours before these hats were available to the public, we were worn in the Opry, where name your favorite country music star has stood. So it's just an iconic place for us to show up. And that's why the black and white is where we're starting. But you'll see more from us in the very near future with some introduction of new colors.
And the New Era brand is special too, isn't it, to hook up that way?
Oh, I mean, that is the official cap of Major League Baseball. And we are very honored to be able to be on that same hat maker's hat as the Yankees and the Dodgers are. So an amazing partner. They've been very generous and gracious with us. And I think we've been pretty generous with them by getting these hats out the door incredibly quickly.
You mentioned Mitch Tenpenny, but I've seen more than just Mitch Tenpenny. There are lots of people out there wearing caps or placements of caps that are being shown on social media. How do you get that to happen?
Yeah, this one was a really fun one that we really just stumbled into. So we were actually standing backstage at a Jelly Roll concert, and there's no bigger star on planet Earth right now than that young man. And he saw the hat on our head and said, I need that. I'll swap my hat with you. So that was just a chance encounter that we captured on camera, and we ran with that idea from there. And we turned this into a campaign called Hat Swap, where we've swapped hats with everybody from your local firefighter chief to bartenders down on Broadway to the president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Bob Kendrick, to the head of the Girl Scouts of Middle Tennessee. We are really trying to just find more people that are as excited about this opportunity as we are. And that list is very long. We have probably 20 more people that we're ready to swap hats with as soon as our hats get back in stock.
Don Mattingly was one. I was there that night.
I'm from New Haven, Connecticut, a diehard Yankees fan until the Stars come around. So that's my first baseman for now and for always. So that was a very special moment for me to swap hats with Donnie Baseball.
Well, there's something else we share. I've told people I've been a New York Yankees fan since I was 10 years old. There's a story behind that, but it would date me. But I'll tell you that one day. But I've been a New York Yankees fan, and I look forward to the day when I can go to a Yankees game in a new Nashville stadium, take my Yankees jersey off for the last time and put my Stars jersey on forever, because I like the home team. And if the Nashville Stars, or when the Nashville Stars come about and play the Yankees, that will be what I do for that particular game. And
I'll do it right there next to you.
All right. And I love Don Mattingly. He was more personable than anybody ever could guess. Great. Stayed on when they told us that he would not stay at our banquet for very long after it was over, and he stayed and answered questions and signed away. What a great soul he is.
Very special human. It was
Yeah.
a pleasure to meet him, and I thank you for helping to coordinate that. That
Oh,
was a dream come true for me.
he was terrific. I'm not sure we set the bar pretty high for our 2026 banquet. There's a long list of those that we'd like to bring in, but we'll have to find out. We're having a meeting in a couple of weekends. We may find out more. But those caps sold out in a matter of hours. Now, what does that tell you?
I mean, there's a demand. It blew us away, candidly. I mean, within the first week, we sold out across 35 states and 4 non-US countries. So not only are we building something that is incredibly built by Nashville for Nashville, but the story has so much appeal well beyond the Middle Tennessee area that we know that we're really onto something. I mean, this connection to the Negro Leagues and the partnership with the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and Bob Kendrick is something that is so core to us, not only as Nashvillians and Tennesseans, but as Americans. And I think it really resonates with people all over the globe. And we're working as quickly as we can to get those hats back in stock. They will be back very soon. And we're excited to put them on more people's heads.
You know, the Negro Leagues tie is excellent, I think. It was overlooked for a long time, and really until 2020. Too bad that COVID kind of put a damper on that, although people like Bob Kendrick were great in continuing to establish the connection to the Negro Leagues to today. Major League Baseball began to honor the stats from several of those leagues and teams, and I think that made all sense in the world too. What Willie Mays added another 10 home runs or something when they added those in. And then when you go to Birmingham, I was there for that game. It's too bad that Willie Mays and Bill Greason were not able to be there together because Willie Mays passed away. And you see the excitement that has carried over in a way that I don't think would have people would have guessed in 2019, even at that time.
Yeah, I mean, it really is unbelievable. And I carry the same weight that I think Bob Kendrick carries every single day, is that it is our job to make sure that this history continues to be told. I was very fortunate about a month ago now. I went up to Detroit, where we met up with 2 separate individuals, 2 families. We met Vanessa Ivy Rose, who is granddaughter of Turkey Stearns, Nashville, Tennessee born, who played most of his career with the Detroit Stars. And just to have a conversation with her about her grandfather. One of the very cool moments that happened is the day that we were there was the day that MLB The Show on PlayStation came out. And she had the opportunity to play the video game as her grandfather, who she never met and never saw play. And through that amazing partnership with MLB The Show and Bob Kendrick, she got to play the game as her grandfather. So she was the first person that we met and sat down with. And then we met a very amazing young man named Ron Schoolboy Teasley. That young man is 98 years old. He is the second oldest living Negro Leagues player. He played mostly with the New York Cubans, but he told us unbelievable stories. He was actually called up to the Dodgers the year after Jackie was there. And through a series of unfortunate events, he didn't spend much time there, but he played all throughout the country. He played here in Nashville, Tennessee. Really incredible to be able to connect with these people that were there, that experience the things that we read about in the history books or that we see at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, to be able to have a conversation with them about what they went through and what their experiences were like, and to share our story about what we're trying to do to honor them in perpetuity was just a very, very special moment for me personally.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I had a chance to meet with Bill Greason in 2017. There was a conference, a Negro Southern Leagues conference down at Rickwood, and I was able to meet him, have my picture taken with him. It's one of my prized possessions, and he was part of that Rickwood Classic or the Rickwood Major League Baseball game. And once again, I think to be able to honor those guys, and sometimes we don't stop and think about their families, as you mentioned, Ivy Rose, and I know her mother and her sister. They've been here to Nashville a couple of times, and we've been able to converse. They're nice people, good people. They're very proud of Turkey Stearns and what he has meant to Major League Baseball. But there are others. Harriet Kimbrough Hamilton, who lives here in Nashville. Her dad was Henry Kimbrough. He probably should be a Hall of Famer, or at least get some good discussion going about his opportunity there. He's in the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, but he deserves more recognition, I think, than he's gotten. But there are a lot of stories like that. And one of the things I like about the Nashville Stars initiative is those stories continue to be told. And Bob Kendrick also is a partner with that. He's a diamond and of like no other. He can tell a story, and his presence is just terrific.
I would happily listen to that man read a menu and be sitting there engaged the entire time.
Yeah, he can do it. All right, let's talk about Nashville becoming a major league city. Do you think expansion is the best choice or relocation is the best choice? Now, I'm not asking you to give away anything. I'm just asking you, is there a take by the MLB Music City Group? Maybe your personal choice? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, and I think this is the choice of many people, not just ours, but we are really focused on expansion. And I think Major League Baseball is as well. I'm actually just coming off the CAA and SBJ World Congress of Sports that was held here in Nashville, Tennessee. Over 1,300 attendees, the largest ever for this conference, which is their biggest conference that they put on. And Commissioner Manfred was here on stage, and on stage, he really talked about this exact situation. He's very focused, and Major League Baseball is very focused on ensuring that the A's find their home in Las Vegas and that the Rays find a good home in Florida. And I think those are the right markets for those teams. And I think the markets that Major League Baseball is in right now are the right markets for them. This city deserves its own franchise. I think it's an opportunity to expand the game. Baseball, even more than any of the other professional sports, is so regionally focused. And this has just been a gap in the regional execution for Major League Baseball for a long time. So I'm very hopeful that we get our own expansion team. I mean, that means new jobs for lots and lots of people, both on the field, in the front office, and everybody that makes a stadium run. So we're very focused on expansion. There will always be potential opportunities for relocation, but we're keeping our eye on the prize and focusing on expansion.
Well, there are always going to be naysayers. My word to them is you need to come over to our side because I think it's going to happen. I think we've got to be positive about it. And who knows what the time frame is, but I hope it's sooner than later. And through your efforts, through the marketing efforts, which are very evident when I talk about seeing the NS cap on different heads in the entertainment business or in sports venues, and then the newsletter that comes out weekly. I mean, I think the commissioner has to be paying attention to those things. Aren't they very important?
Oh, they really are, and I appreciate that. But it's the story's telling itself. It's really not about my efforts or my team's efforts. It's about this story getting into the right hands. And the funny thing is, I pulled into that conference on Monday morning or Tuesday morning, and the valet said, "Is that the Nashville Stars hat?" Man, I can't wait till we get a team.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that gets me up every single morning, knowing that the work that we put in is reaching the right people. He couldn't have been 22 years old. And he was excited about what we're building here. So that's the stuff that gets us really excited. And we're not slowing down anytime soon. Inventory for the hats will be back soon. More merchandise is on the way. And we're excited that more people are excited about what we're building.
I teased you a little while ago. I call it a cap because I worked for New Era way back when. My dad did. His father-in-law, my grandfather did. Granddaddy started in 1932 with New Era. It was the second rep hired outside of New York City. His territory was New York City to the Rio Grande. He used to tell us as we were growing up. So yeah, I think he was changing his own flats in the in the gravel roads down in certain towns in the south, in the certain states in the south. But we just have always have had a love. I loved New Era. They treated us very well. When I retired 10 years ago, it was not by choice, but I understood how things were changing, and I would never say anything negative about New Era. I loved them. But the owner, Dave Cook, before he passed, would tell the sales force, it's a cap, not a hat. A hat has a brim. A cap has a visor. Now, I'm not going to change the vernacular. What we accept is what we accept. But I always get tickled when I hear these caps called hats. So I guess you'll have to just support me in my feelings about what it's called. And
More than happy to. I will never question a longtime New Era employee or the former founder and CEO on what these things are called. I just know Jay-Z called the Yankee hat a Yankee hat, and that's my
there you
generation.
go.
So that's where I got it.
We just go with it. That's what we do.
Right.
All right. To close, I want to ask you a personal question. My dad passed away in 2016, and I'm kind of like the Field of Dreams. I wish I could have that final catch with my dad. Are you able to have a catch with your dad?
I also share that dream with you. I lost my dad in 2019. So it's been coming up on 6 years now. And if I could play catch with one guy on this planet, it would be that guy. So you and me share that unfortunate thing of losing our fathers. He's what brought me into this game. He's why I'm a Yankees fan. He's why I try to be a great dad and be there for my son and daughter. So I wish I could play catch with my dad too. But if you want to have a catch and talk about our dads, let's do it.
Well, that would be a nice connection. I would appreciate that. I never got him to autograph a baseball either. What was I thinking? Although a friend of mine who passed away, he was Nashville's Mr. Baseball for a long, long time, talked about it Sulphur Dale back in the 20s as a youngster sliding down the ice chute to get into the ballpark because the Pittsburgh Pirates were going to play a baseball game there. And who did he run into on the field but Honus Wagner?
Wow.
And Honus Wagner tossed him a glove and said, "Here, help me warm up." And Junie McBride was his name. And he said, "We didn't think about getting an autograph." He said, "The only thing I remember is how big Hans Walker's hands, Wagner's hands were." So, that's what kind of catches us in those days. These days, we're kind of crazy about autographs and things. But I think you have a special baseball, don't you?
I do. I do. My dad, I remember I must have been, let's see, it was 95. So maybe now I'm dating myself. I was only 6 years old at the time. We were sitting up in the third level at Old Yankee Stadium. And only thing I remember is my dad and this other fella sort of wrestling around for a foul ball. And I still have that ball. It was hit by Gerald Williams. I think the Yankees lost to the Tigers, but I have the ball that my dad wrote on and said whatever the score was, the date of it, and Will and Dad were there. So I was fortunate enough to go to a game not that long ago with my son where we got a foul ball and I wrote my name and his name on there. So it's continuing to pass down. Funny enough, my dad is William General III. I'm William General IV, and my son Liam is William General V. So we're keeping this going with the William Generals and love for baseball.
I think that's great. It's something special about baseball, isn't it? What is
There's
it
nothing
about
like
baseball?
it.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people feel safe at the ballpark. I think that's why you see so many crowds. There's some safety that people find when they go there. They may not know that there's a ball game going on. They may be waiting for the next prize giveaway, but still, baseball is something special, and it usually revolves around family, and I think that means everything. And I have no doubt that there will be lots of families coming to a Nashville Stars game in the future.
Baseball brings people together, no matter what your walk of life, no matter what your political views, no matter what your sexual orientation, race, pick your difference that you want to find. Baseball brings people together. That high five after a home run with a stranger next to you is just so special. So I will never lose my love for this game, and I will try to bring more people into this game as I can.
When you go to a baseball game, I've said this before, people don't care what your religious affiliation is. They don't care what your political affiliation is, but you can certainly turn around and talk to them on either side, in front or behind you. And I think that's another thing that kind of takes some of the worries away. And so you feel safe to talking to people. I think it's a great venue for people to be comfortable.
We all argue balls and strikes the same way.
That's right. Like, hey, Will, this has been great. We'll put this one to bed right now, and then we'll get together again another time, and we'll kind of maybe rehash some of these things, but look for new things from you and from the Nashville Stars team, and let's bring baseball to Nashville.
Skip, I'm very thankful to you and to your audience for listening along with us. We're very passionate about bringing Major League Baseball here to Nashville. Very thankful to you for being our resident historian and helping us stay true to the facts. So we're going to keep trying to make this dream happen and appreciate everybody's support along the way. Please make sure to follow us on all our channels for more good stuff to come.
It's nationalstars.com, and of course, social media. They're all over the place. So it's a good thing that you guys have going, and look forward to sitting at the ballpark with you one day, right?
Thank you so much. Really excited about it.
Thank you, Will. Have a great day.
Appreciate it, Skip.